Welcome to the Last Mile Profits videocast, the last word on the last mile. In the UK, the Royal Mail CEO is finally on their way out. Find out more after this. Modern Expo provides an integral ecosystem of screen-operated lockers, screenless autonomous solutions, refrigerated lockers, and even personal parcel lockers, powered by an in-house developed software. So, Marek, Simon Thompson's going at the end of October. Maybe not such a surprise, but what do you think were the root causes of that?
Yeah, hello, Peter. Hello, everyone. This was an ongoing saga. I was surprised, actually, it took so long. I think probably above all, the fact that it had got to the point that he wasn't able to communicate with the unions and a large part of the workforce. So, when you get to the point where you have a leader who cannot really lead because the workforce doesn't want to listen, that becomes a bit of an issue. So I'd say probably above anything else, the fact that, the relationship with key stakeholders, i.e. the labour force and the unions, had gotten to a pretty bad state. I'd say the two other things. One is from what we saw on some of the appearances in the various parliamentary committees, I'm not convinced that the relationship with some of the politicians was too good either. And then the final thing, let's be very honest, a company that's losing, I can't remember what it was it £1 million a day, pounds? It's a little bit difficult to get over the first two hurdles if you're not doing too well on the third one, which is the financial performance of the company.
Yeah, and I think picking up on those points, the CWU, the union, said it's down to him that the company was losing money hand over fist. And then also talking about sort of the breakdown in relationships, he was accused of misleading MPs over tracking workers' productivity. That's a pretty bad accusation to be flying in his direction. And I guess that just contributes to this overall breakdown of confidence in him from effectively all sides.
Yeah, I think it had got to the stage, Peter, where it was pretty much irrecoverable. But maybe, we can talk about it, and I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people, particularly on the YouTube channel, that are going to make comments, because I think that of all the videocasts we've ever posted, the ones about Royal Mail have got, clicks of sort of 10,000 plus. So looking forward to some interesting points of view. But I think probably what's more important is to think about, okay, so what's going to happen next?
Yeah, we're talking about the third Royal Mail boss in 5 years. Big shoes to fill, difficult job. What do you think the first 100 days are going to look like? What are the challenges the incomer has to overcome?
Absolutely. I think this is it's not going to be easy, to put it mildly. Probably, I would say that the person has to be a mix of many things. The person, man or woman, has to, first of all, really understand the business. Because one of the challenges that Simon Thompson had was that he didn't really understand the business. He wasn't so long in the business. So it's got to be someone who cannot be challenged in that respect. But on top of being very good commercially and operationally, I think it has to be a real, consummate politician, in the sense, when I say politician, an ability to really talk with, on one hand, the labour force and also other stakeholders, including shareholders, in a way that will be compelling, which will gain trust, because I think trust has not been around a Royal Mail for quite some time. So that's the second thing. It's got to be someone who can really communicate well, but also can navigate some very difficult, I think, Peter, political challenges. I'm trying to think what the third thing is, whether it's going to be, we talked about commercial acumen, but also I think a bit of luck, because it's in such a state now that really it has to be somebody who will actually be able to have all of the credentials, the personal traits, but also a little bit of luck at this stage.
Yeah, that luck's going to be very useful when that person has to start talking about, right, this is what Simon Thompson was trying to do, trying to push through some modernisation through the business, trying to make some changes that are going to make it future ready. And as you say, communication's absolutely key to all of that. You've got to win hearts and minds, which Simon Thompson clearly wasn't doing. So a tough gig to be coming into, that's for sure.
Especially, Peter, because some of the terms that were agreed with the unions actually block certain changes. So, I've always been of the opinion that the stakeholders from the union side and employee side, they're not your enemies. And if you really speak openly and really want to include them and seek to try to find a midway towards doing many things, it's doable. I think it got to the stage here where even sometimes rational ideas, shall we say, I won't say torpedoed, but the unions weren't so keen to let it happen because there was a complete lack of trust. So, hopefully the new incumbent will have that element of trust, because at the end of the day, if the Royal Mail doesn't change, it is going to be less and less competitive. And there's just going to be less business money to go around. And however you try to make it work, there's not going to be enough to share out to keep the jobs and keep the terms that the union have just won.
Yep, it's going to be fascinating to see what the new person brings and how that person achieves what they set out to achieve. As always, we'd love to hear what you think about it in the comments below, please. What can the new incumbent do to the business, in your opinion? Marek, it's been a pleasure talking with you. Thank you very much, and catch up with you in the next edition.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for watching the Last Mile Profits video. For more free analysis of the last mile, please like, follow and subscribe below to ensure you are notified every time we upload new content.